All right, it's time for another Josh cast. It's time for another Josh cast. It's time for another Josh cast. I'm going to try recording this, and I'm going to do this in the car while driving, which I know I should normally not do. Hopefully this won't blow up in my face. I'm also going to try doing this without wearing a mask in the car, which I think it's always been fine not to wear a mask in the car. I've been paranoid about it, but this is the first time in almost a year that I will be driving in the car without wearing a mask. And it's feeling kind of weird. It's feeling a little weird. Feeling a bit odd. Hopefully there's not somebody sitting in the back seat who has COVID. Hopefully COVID didn't break in the night and is waiting in the back seat saying, now's the time. We're going to get the little Jewish man. Driving down the street where they have these restaurants and they're building out in the street outdoor dining alcoves, basically. Pretty elaborate. And there's a part of me that's thinking, I mean, if what they say is true, and everyone will be fully vaccinated by the summer, are they going to have to just rip all this stuff down? But that's what you do, Josh. You live in the future. You have to live in the present, man. Right now in the present, it's outdoor dining only. So they're being in the present. They're being in the moment. They're being in the now. Be in the now. Be in the now. This podcast is brought to you by Jensen Elrick's Be in the Now workshop. I'm Jensen Elrick. Are you having trouble being in the present moment? Well, we've learned that we can help you be in the present moment by punching you in the face repeatedly until all of your other problems disappear. Be in the now! By screaming in your face and punching you in the face repeatedly, we have found that you are 5 times more likely to be present than if you are not being punched in the face repeatedly. Jensen Elrick, be in the now! Pow pow, be in the now. Jensen Elrick. I don't know what it is today. I'm in love with this voice that I do, which no, I don't have any voice. I don't do any voices. I don't do voices. But the stupid voices I do, this one, Jensen Elrick. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Which is, I guess, my default skeezy salesman voice. Jensen Elrick, hi. Of course I'm going to my 25-year high school reunion. We all had such a great time. High school was great for me. High school was fantastic. It was a magical time, you know. I was friends with everybody. No, I had no emotional problems whatsoever in high school. High school was great, and college was great. My 20s were great, my 30s were great, my 40s were great, my 50s were great. Everything was great. Everything is great. Jensen Elrick. Driven by a giant billboard that says, "Don't put your health on hold. We have multiple Valley locations." I don't know. There's something. I don't know. There's something almost like we're so good. Our healthcare is so all encompassing. we've decided to come into the valley. We're in the valley now. We can help the poor. Yeah, right. The valley, which still contains the top 2%, not the top 1%. That's Calabasas. The valley, the top 2%. No-yo. What's that? Not really yogurt? Is it vegan yogurt? Is that what's going on? That'd be my guess. It's yogurt, but it's not made of yogurt. Non-yogurt yogurt. There's no milk or cream or sugar or lactose of any kind in it. And yet it tastes exactly like yogurt. And by tastes exactly like yogurt, what I mean to say is that it tastes almost like yogurt, and then there will be an aftertaste, which could be more specifically described as an afterpaste. Well, how do you know until you try it? Don't knock it until you try it, man. Jensen Elrick here. Is that the name I came up with? No, Jensen Elrick. I don't know who Jensen Elrick is. We don't talk about Jensen Elrick on this podcast. We only talk about Jensen Elrick. Jensen Elrick. Life just brings me smiles, man. Jensen Elrick. Currently driving in North Hollywood, which frankly looked terrible before the pandemic and now looks even worse. But it's this same kind of thing. Homeless people all over the place, and yet brand new apartment homes that are what, $1 million a slice? Probably $500,000 an apartment. They're literally building these new apartments on top of the homeless people. Gentrification all over. Overturned trash cans. And then somebody trying to make a nice mural. There's always that part, kind of a seedy part of town, and then somebody finds a mural, and it's like, we're gonna turn this around, starting with this mural. I gotta be careful, because my boss's mom is a muralist, and I don't want to disparage muralists. That's the last thing I want to do in this podcast, is cut down these muralists. But I do notice that the murals are in the troubled parts of town. They could probably be more useful in the rich parts of town. There should be a mural that's like, hey, taxes aren't that bad. Maybe if you'd pay more taxes, we wouldn't be in this mess right now. This reminds me of when I was doing the podcast 2 years ago, when only 10 people were listening as opposed to 12. And this is how I would record it on Monday mornings. I'm going to have to fill up my gas tank. Still not received my new license plates. I'm going to have to call the DMV again and see what is going on. Try to determine the issue. Try to get to the point where I can understand what is going on here, why I don't have my new plates. This is getting ridiculous. Fundamentally ridiculous. Sorry for the sniffling. Don't worry, it's just allergies. It's not COVID. I'm just a pig and I never dust. Everybody, calm down. How much longer will this insanity play out? That's my other voice is the bad impression that I do of Anthony Zerbe. Who is Anthony Zerbe, you ask? A very talented actor. I think he was in the second Matrix movie, I think, and he was the bad guy in Star Trek Insurrection. And there's a moment in Star Trek Insurrection where he just says reluctantly, "Send your ships. Send your ships." So it's basically the same as my horrible Sean Connery. Not quite. Sean Connery is send your ships. Yeah, but I'm telling you, both terrible impressions. I never promised to do good impressions. I never made that promise with you, or good accents either. Akbari, I never made that promise. I don't know what that's a combination of Liverpool and you've just been punched in the face. But you're in the moment. And of course, there's road work. Always road work now. Always road work. I've talked about this before. I will talk about this again. Whenever there is any kind of economic strife in California, immediately more road work. I don't know, what are they doing? What is this? They're not even working on the road. They're doing something with a building. But still, they block the lane of traffic. It is putting precious seconds on my commute, which is no good. Currently feeling bloated and constipated. Bloated and constipated, ladies and gentlemen. Bloated and constipated. So I'm driving by this Walgreens. There's this message that says, "New flu shots here, inquire at drive." But the N of new is half fallen over. And there's a metaphor to that, I think. Just visually. It's a visual. It says that our healthcare system has failed us. Almost says, "Ew, flu shots here, inquire at drive." That's almost perfect for an anti-vaxxer's sign. Oh my God. Oh, I'm tired. Tired of living, afraid of dying. Which I think is a song from the Molly Brown musical. The Unsinkable Molly Brown. The Unsinkable Molly Brown. Who, I think was in Colorado, right? Yeah, because the Brown Palace. Yeah, she was a Coloradan. Debbie Reynolds played her in the musical. Famous for, what did she get? She got rich mining, right? Didn't she get rich and then she got poor again? It was rags to riches and back to rags, right? Oh, now I gotta look it up. I know she has a really nice hotel, the Brown Palace. Been in Colorado for over 100 years. It's the kind of place where you can get a steak, and it's built in that style that they built things over 100 years ago, where the ceiling has bumps on it, and there's wainscoting, and it's made out of brick. Is the word, is it Victorian? It's a Victorian, Edwardian sort of thing. I remember in elementary school, we drove around the city of Denver looking at architectural things, pointing out, oh, I don't even remember anything. I don't remember anything that I learned of that. What was the thing that we, uh, oh, that there's a term for like not even the awning, but it's like, oh, that's an A-frame, or oh, that's a gondola, or something to do the crap on the building. We had these sheets, and as I think about it, was that just could they have been any cheaper? Just get them in the bus, give them a piece of paper with a bunch of things you see on buildings, and have them circle it when they see it, so they can learn about architecture. These future retailers, and if they're lucky, maybe one or two doctors or lawyers in the bunch, have them circle the arch. If there's an arch, have them circle the arch by the building. We'll have them drive by the buildings. They do not drive through my neighborhood, which consists of condominiums built in the late 70s, early 80s, which are probably not going to be remembered in the annals of 20th century American architecture, if I had to guess. All right, folks, we did it. We're here, another podcast. Remember, be in the moment. And if you have to punch yourself in the face to do it, or hire Jensen Elrick to do it, well, he's available.